that's a triple play. New episodes, I couldn't wait. Yeah, open your mind at the first gate. Press play, no need to debate. AOA, check me out. Look, clocked in, you can catch the hype. Golden Dawn, how we follow the light. Anime like life, married to it, my wife.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome back to the AOA show. I'm your host, as always, Ian, along with the boys Isaiah.
Oh, hi, yo.
And Gavin.
What is Gucci Shoes?
And today we're hitting you with some more blog posts courtesy of the beautiful moderators in our Discord and for our YouTube channel, this time covering episodes, what is it again?
19 to 28.
Thank you. 19 to 28. You heard it here first, folks. Season 3, of course. If you want to check that live stream out, you'll want to go to AOA Reacts, by the way. The link is in the description down below. It was a fun stream. It was fun. There's a lot of spectacle on that one. It was cool. So don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss our future content coming out this week on the AOA show, so stay tuned for that as well. But without further ado, let's hop into it, starting with episode 19. Gavin, you take it away, my friend.
So we're starting off today, chapter 19. All right. Oh, and this was the aforementioned picture of Kun that we were waiting for last week.
It's gorgeous.
So, this week's afterwards picture is figure skating Kun. Kun belongs where there's ice, for sure. The image suits him well. A figure skating rack may be a bit more difficult, or just anything a rack because you just hate drawing. It's not wrong. This chapter, we see that Bam and Karaka's combo attack is still a bit awkward. They woke Yama up with the strong attack. Yama, to me, is like a child who needs a spanking every morning just to get him up.
What?
Weird analogy.
Of course, his body is so strong that's actually a good thing. All of Bam / Viol's piercing wave / resonant wave techniques were taught by Ha Jin-sung. So all of his and Karaka's techniques share the same root. Karaka doesn't use resonant wave techniques a lot these days, but he isn't weak in that melee. He simply chooses to maximize survival and minimizes damage intake as part of his style. Kun's new ability is an amazing support ability. I know many of you want to see him in action right now, but I want to give more abilities that fits his ranged support class. That's why he got Enacor in the freezing ability. Kun's still a long ways from fighting a Ranker. I hope you look forward to more of Kun's growth.
I like the support style of Kun.
Yeah, it's interesting. On Dang Dang's death. At first, I wanted more focus on Dang Dang at the beginning of the arc, but as things are going currently, I decided to keep the flashback short and reached this chapter and Doom's resurrection. I hope you guys receive Dang Dang and Gatto's conversation well. Doom's up. He doesn't look complete, and he does look short. Even if he has been out of commission for a long time, he was an incredibly powerful, high-ranking dog kin. I hope you look forward to seeing what kind of story Yama and Doom lead. I've been writing this every week now, but I've been fighting my neck pains this week too. Sitting with my neck tilted down is strenuous, and I'm not drawing on a display tablet, but a flat tablet. So I can't draw too much while standing. However, I can still upload, and this is something I have to gradually adjust to in my daily life. So I'm trying to upload without straining myself too much. If it seems too much, I will let you know of any incoming hiatuses. But it's already feeling better, so things are looking optimistic, if I do say so myself. Drawing is a daily battle. Well, Doom's up, Yama's up, and Elder's up. And this has become a chapter of introductions and returns. I know I'm lacking a lot, but if you enjoy my webtoon, that's all I need. P.S. I got archery and figure skating confused. TN, SIU. How those things sound nothing alike. Guess I'll have Rack compete in compound bow archery.
Oh, that's cool.
I am
okay. I don't know if he'd be able to do that though, because his arm. Well, he could just grow big.
Yeah, just grow big. Yeah,
grow big.
Big bow.
Big bow.
All right, moving on to episode 20 here. It looks like we got the Raccoon Bam at Six Flags or something like that, some sort of theme park. So that looks like fun. Rack looks like he's like sweating a little bit here. Coon's like, "Are you okay?" And Bob's like, "I'm having a good time."
I'd love it if he was like low-key afraid of heights.
Oh, that's Yvonne Kell in the back too.
I was gonna say,
There with,
yeah,
I'm not sure if it's Han Sung or someone else.
It's like some dog ears.
But anyway, to those who were expecting Rack with a bow, sorry, but maybe next time. Dude, Rack. Poor Rack, man. Why'd you even make him? I thought my neck was getting better, but at the moment, I pushed myself a bit. It hurts again. So I'm taking a break tonight. It doesn't hurt too much, but I feel a discomfort in my daily life, so I try to be careful. You can never be too careful with your body. Still, please don't worry too much about me. Too late. This week's chapter had a lot of content. We got Yama's backstory, Yama trying to not let the blood of the dog people leak out, and Yama trying to keep his reason behind it a secret. Of course, to the dog people who want freedom, like Dang Dang, Yama's actions wouldn't be justified. Really? Like the whole thing? Interesting. Not let the blood of the dog people leak out? But they're kind of screwed either way. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, Yvonne Kell and the elders are fighting, or elder, and it looks like the elder just signed Yvonne Kell up for a roller coaster ride, with Yama and Doom both awakened and an elder on the way to the cage. This is a dog fight, and a big one too. I think I will wrap things up here and rest. Have a happy, healthy, and lively week. That was a short one.
It was.
Interesting. All right.
Chapter 21.
Ooh, dope picture.
Boy Yama. This week's afterward sketch is Yama with a toothbrush in his mouth. Archery rack is coming soon. Anyway, I have a sudden toothache on Saturday, so I had to quickly visit the hospital. Turned out that one of my fillings fell out, so I just needed to get it redone. So this was a more relaxing weekend. Dentists are scary, even when you're an adult.
Take care.
Fucking man.
Take care of your teeth, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. This week's chapter reveals where the spear that hit Doom last week came from. A man named Real Mon. The base concept behind him is a dog person who became an idol otaku because of PTSD from the last war. I'm using a lot of key words that relate to modern day here, which is similar to Lurker and Cash at the beginning of Season 2. But keeping in both approachable without being uncanny is harder than it seems. I hope you guys enjoy these kinds of lines and concepts, but I do understand where people who feel put off by this kind of thing are coming from. Ruelmon is a spear bearer / scout hybrid, which means he can target and attack all on his own. His attack range and accuracy is therefore OP, but his mental fortitude is... You can start multitasking once you are about ranker tier, but cases like Ruelmon, multiclassing spear bearer and scout are almost perfectly rare. Anyway, the spear of the ancient race shown today will most likely show up more, it seems. Yeah, that's why I think that rack is going to...
Yeah,
hopefully. I really hope he gets
I
it.
mean, the fact that he says that,
it's
right?
literally the spear of the ancients.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't give it to Rack because I don't feel like drawing Rack with the spear. So
Doom was able to survive Ruelmon's spear because he's performed metamorphosis partially around the targeted area. It was a direct hit. Even if he put up a guard, it probably would have been fatal. Even with that kind of parry, he collapsed from shock and is having his head ringing. This chapter really shows the good side of having a spear bearer, which is letting you snipe an otherwise powerful enemy.
fair enough.
As I progress through these chapters, I think between the rankers, the regulars may seem a lot more frustrating or boring in comparison. Considering the lore, they may end up having different roles than the main characters of other works. But I think that in a battlefield where they're outmatched to this degree, this is the natural consequence. It's simply that as an author, my shortcomings involve making said consequences natural and entertaining. I'm always reflective of it, and I will continue to try my best. I would much appreciate it if you guys saw me as the regulars who are trying to grow in power and develop. Nah, SIU is a ranker. Deadass.
Huge job.
Yeah. Now we see the Envoy and Yama fight. The Envoy looks a bit gross, and I had a bit of a trouble with him too. I thought about making him handsome, but that'd be too obvious, so I made him look unlikable. His mouth actually doesn't smell bad. He told me to tell you guys, just in case you get the wrong idea. Now we can see Yama slowly getting into the same boat Bam and Karaka are on. But will they be able to save the cage and solidify Yama as an ally? Where is the Elder? What will happen to Doom and those who face him? With that, I will come back with Yama and the clean mouth next week.
That's amazing.
Hey, there he is.
That's a sweet pick,
in
dude.
all of his
Dope.
glory.
Wow.
All right, when is this becoming canon?
Oh, for real, dude. That's awesome. I want
that'd
Big
be
Rack again.
Sick. Imagine he uses this spear as like an arrow. It's like he's a spear bearer with a bow.
That'd be
He,
nuts.
Like, puts
Or
actual spears in there.
He takes the
fire it.
ancient spear, or he steals somehow, like got the elder thug dudes.
Oh, his bow.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of possibilities.
A
For
little
that. Come on.
ancient twist on it.
But none of them are.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll get them in here.
Who is
we'll,
Well,
this
the spear
character?
thing, probably.
we'll think about what could.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool picture though.
It is.
Episode 22
Yes.
is Gavin actually.
Rack with a bow is
My
finally
bad.
here. I was watching TV this morning, and they were having an archery competition. Revelation from heaven. wasn't quite what went on in my mind, but I did think to finally draw this. On a side note, the competition was held in Chengdu, which is where I grew up. So that was a nostalgia moment for me. I'd been so busy the last few years, I hadn't been able to visit. I think it was also coincidental, but the home team was winning for the middle school tier. So this, please. So this hometown spirit I forgot existed rose up in me. I guess this is why I still cheer for Hanwha whenever I watch baseball. Interesting. This is a fight between Yama and the envoy. The envoy is too one-directional to be a fight. It'll take an elder or another high ranker for it to be a proper fight. But maybe that thing in the sky made it a variable. Karaka and Bam arrive where Doom is. And we also see Kun strengthen Verdisi using his fire before that. There may be a misconception of what Kun's fire does. This power-up does not mean a regular can fight a ranker tier power-up, but just a manipulator on your own base power. Or multiply. What did I say? I don't even know. It doesn't actually revive dead people either. Interesting. Only those whose life force is still lit. I put in an explanation because some people were getting worried. It's hard to balance the powers of the main characters due to how this genre works, but I do not want to worry you guys. So I will do the best that I can.
So I wonder if Dang Dang is dead.
Well, no, because they said that they
yeah.
can stay alive for God knows how
Oh,
long
yeah.
without a heart, because apparently it's just irrelevant. And the heart itself. And they're like, yeah, we took it and we like brought it to the workshop. They did their thing. We brought it back. I'm like, the heart's not beat or whatever. Anyway,
It's the Naruto eye thing,
it's
dude.
you just it is what it is. Anyway, Karaka offers Doom a challenge with a trust in Bam's power. Doom took it without knowing anything about Bam. Bam ends up facing off a ranker in the fight, and whether it be luck or skill, but Bam hits from the get-go. Doom and Paul, who sent in their picture expecting a no-hit, no-run situation, are now surprised because they have a hit. Let's see how the match will go. Is Bam finally ranker tier? Stay tuned, folks.
Yes.
I've been working out, improving my body condition. Illnesses don't go away overnight, but effort never fails. Body Improvement Club. Mob Psycho. Take lessons.
Facts.
Yeah.
Preaching.
You will live a long life. You're good.
All right. Moving on to episode 23. We got the boys surfing. This is pretty awesome.
That's
That's cool.
amazing.
That's cool. Oh, Bomb is making
Bob
the
is making
wave.
the
That's
wave,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that a lot. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. This is SIU. Since it's summer and therefore hot, I decided to draw something to cool everyone off. Shinsu and water are two different concepts, but if someone was able to control the wave, he would be an amazing partner for surfers, I would suppose. I've actually never surfed myself. This is one of Bomb's fights, and there's a big deal in that Bomb and a ranker went head-to-head. The K9 people are generally drawn with thick lines to emphasize their power, so I wanted to contrast the Elder's envoy with the K9 people and make him look a bit sly and sneaky. Actually, this arc itself, unlike previous arcs, has a constantly changing cast of enemies, so I wanted to make sure that he was visually apparent as an exceptionally annoying villain. Sometimes when you go through the story, you have characters that outright scream, "Bad guy!" This is one of those. In Bomb's fight, we see him make the ranker kneel. Even if he is a ranker, there's a difference in power among them. Most importantly, the ranker hasn't used any transformations, so it can't be outright said that Bomb is ranker tier, but he can certainly be a threat. With the Thorn activated, even a K9 ranker with transformations would not be sure of his chances against Bomb. The fight was cut short by Gato, but Bomb still had a few cards he could have played, so the match probably would have gone the same. P.S. When I look back to the first years when I couldn't afford to turn on the air conditioner and my computer and tablet produce high amounts of heat, I've now reached a point where I don't need to worry about the electric bill. Because I started posting in the summer, I remember those times every summer. If someone asked me whether I've improved in line with my environment, I wouldn't know what to say in response. It is thanks to all you guys that support me so generously that I can work in this improved environment. It's good, man.
Deserve it.
Home beginnings.
Facts.
Chapter 24, Yama again. Giving us that stare. Tonight's image is Yama, the king of dogs. I thought Yama fits best here considering this week's chapter. If you look at the words king of dogs, though, I'm not sure if that's the title you'd want to have. This chapter, Zon is coming. I had a long debate on when to do it. I had it drawn out a fair amount, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to cut it and connect it with this bit or make it its entire flashback like this chapter. Since webtoons are a lot more free when it comes to editing, I can change up the content like it's a movie or TV show. In the case of Gato, there's more to talk about, but I do not try to make too much of one character. So I try not to overdo anything if I can help it. These kinds of problems are always difficult. Kun's revival ability is not so much a true revival, but more of a blowing a dying ember into a new fire. At the last bit, Yama finally escapes the Envoy's gambit. This is the moment when Yama will start being more active in this arc. I finally wanted to say leader of the dogs instead of king of dogs, but the latter sounded a lot more direct. Although King of Jihad's title is respective to all of the tower, there are kingly figures in certain groups or races or nations that use the word as well, like so.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. Take it away.
Wow, chapter 25. Kun, look, it's a red Christmas tree. Oh, adorable. It's not a Christmas tree, it's a dog. King of the dogs. TL Len Edon from the AOA Discord. Oh, thank you for the picture.
That's cool.
This week, we have more lore about the canine people. From a certain perspective, this feels like a sidestep for the narrative to come. But having Yama and the canines appear and the other characters tagging along gives the story a lot of volume. When the narrative has less volume, it's easier to take these sidesteps, but it gets harder to manage at this size. Kun's fight went through pretty quickly. It's less so that Kun got the ability of the firefish, but more like he has to bear it now. I definitely want to give the impression that this could be an issue later on in the chapter, but since this arc doesn't revolve around Kun, it ended up being more about this ability instead. Going back over to Bam and Doom, we have Bam sneak a peek into Doom's past. Looking at the narrative right now, the Lopobia family looks like it will become major enemies to Bam. But we won't know what will happen until we get there, so you're shit out of luck. In the last scene, we finally see the Elder and Yama stand in one spot. We don't know what will happen, but who wins here will most likely hold the keys to the fate of the cage. That fate shall play out more next week. On a side note, I am now reaching the age of 35. Happy birthday. I'm already thinking about how maybe I'm the only I'm already thinking about how maybe I'm only putting up an image of understanding those younger than me these days. I do have a lot of student readers, you know. Am I gonna become a grumpy old guy?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Depends if you are breaking your wrist.
I don't know, maybe. Hots! Savage.
Let's
go. All right, episode 26. This week's picture is Hots, who has a small role in this arc. Dunghae, the sword on his back, is actually quite a pain to draw. This chapter we see the battle of the three Baylord brothers. It seems that neither Doom, who might as well be declawed, or Paul can actually stand up against Yama. If Doom was in his prime, Yama may have had trouble, but now is not really the time. This is not enough to see Yama's true skills. Although weak in comparison to Yama, Paul and Doom are high rankers, so they are among the strongest in the tower. We saw a sneak peek into Yama's past with Doom. Doom does not look like a very good older brother. Doom seems to have thought of his people, aside from his two brothers, as being expendable, and Yama opposed it. Of course, does that make Yama a good leader? He could be a hero, but not a leader in this day and age. Of course, due to how the canine people operate, a strong man like Yama becoming their leader makes sense. It's true. In the latter parts, we see Ivankel and Hansung arriving at the cage. Actually, this conversation was drawn up a long time ago, but the editing pushed it back. It was originally supposed to naturally transition, as it also explained how Kuhn's fire worked, but in order to give the scene a little more active feeling, I tied it into one. All right, short one. And I like that line of like more of like a hero rather than a leader. But then like wraps it up. But context would dictate that this society, maybe it could be a leader. Just how they operate. Right.
Chapter 27. Ooh.
Reading a book in there.
White and Vincent, I think.
Yeah.
Is that Vince?
Yeah.
Since
David.
today we have White, I drew the children that are now one. You know, although I don't know when, but if I end up in an arc where I have to draw a lot of RA people, I probably would have a very bad time, because even drawing White right now is difficult. The hardest to draw for me are brightly colored people.
Interesting.
The Elder, according to his plan, sent Yama and the others elsewhere and went for the Fang with Doom. In the middle, we have a scene where Karaka takes Bam. Initially, I thought about putting in a panel that was about the Elder wanting to take Bam with him and regretting not doing so, but I thought it was too awkward to use. Ivankel, upon arrival, discovers a Spear of the Ancients, which seemed to be a weapon used in battle between members of the ancient race. Generally, the word ancient is applied to matters that predate Jihad's entrance. This is when used in its official sense. When applied to describe a person or part of an expression, it is not a literal expression of the time period, but just a common adjective for extremely old. For Miss Cheney, Jin Sung is ancient. Most modern rankers call rankers that were active concurrently with the 10 family heads ancient rankers, but ancient times, to be precise, is pre-Jihad. Okay. Very good to know.
Yeah.
So, Ivanko finally uses a Spear of the Ancients. Kuhn's judo flip was actually quite a challenging feat. Unlike other positions, the light bearer position cannot be covered by physical power or shinsu. So those unfamiliar, be it rankers or even high rankers, have trouble performing the light bearer position well. Even a regular light bearer can be a valuable asset.
Light bearers are, don't sleep on light bearers.
Everybody plays their part.
Yeah, damn, that's a big paragraph.
Yeah,
We're gonna go here.
As the hot weather passes and the weather cools, I can't believe it's already Chuseok.
That's the Thanksgiving thing, right?
Yeah. Time really does go faster when you get older. As an adult, I find myself feeling I just need to make it through another year. And also, what would I do if I could go back to when I was a student, when I was younger? I heard a lot of if I could go back to your age, I would study. I would used to think similarly too. Speaking of studying, as a webtoon author, I have many students read my work. I have to say I feel sorry as a content creator for students who are busy studying. You hear often that even if you study, you make less than a YouTuber or a celebrity or a famous author. That's true. Plenty of people who study hard make good money. Or sorry, that's not true. Yeah. While that may sometimes be true, all of that is only possible because somebody else studies. Like the desk that I use, or the computer, or the tablet that I'm using, all were only possible because somebody studied how to make them. And I can only conclude that the reason I'm able to work like this is because of somebody else putting in the effort for it. Of course, studying isn't all there is to it. I wasn't actually a very good student. It was a weird case when I skipped out on taking the exam for the visual arts education instructor license in my visual arts education major. But the world has other paths to success outside of study. Like someone who once said that being born into money is the best, and all this studying for school or for exams is all meaningless. But I say to all the students who are studying hard that there are many paths besides studying. Success based on studies is not hard, is not boring, but something that is valuable and amazing. I too would like to study if I had the time. Of course, that's really hard. Anyway, too much talk for my meager talent. Thank you and have a happy week.
Went off there. He must have had that on his mind. Like there must have been something that came up.
Very interesting wisdom.
Okay, take it away. Final
Ooh,
chapter we're covering today on the blog post.
Chapter 28. Oh, Look at that. Sun, moon, something in the world colliding. Sitting on a tree stump. What are you going to do? All right. Although Chuseok Korean Thanksgiving is already over, unfortunately, since it's still the last day of the Chuseok weekend, I drew the afterwards image in the theme. Now that I think about it, it's harder to see those four together these days. I hope they will soon. Well, that's completely up to you, my guy, so please make it happen. People say the future is more important than the past, but now I am starting to feel accountable for the past at my age. Well, I'm an average citizen, so even if I'm not exactly a defender of justice, I didn't hurt anybody. That's how I feel. This time, all my assistants were able to take the entire holiday off. Of course, I even took some time off too and visited my parents for a day and came back to work. Thank you, because he hasn't visited them in like 3 years, which is what he said a little bit prior. So in today's chapter, White's battle continues. I did skip out a bit because I didn't think this fight would be too long, but White has more skill than a ranker for sure. Sometimes he uses high ranker level power willy-nilly, but he also goes plop plop and falls on his face too. Actually, having this much power as a regular is unbelievably overpowered, so having that kind of weakness seems to balance things out nicely. Still, with REA swordsmanship and soul absorption, he seems to be growing. Han Sung started fighting the Elder's companion. People were thinking she's a guide, even though it hadn't been officially stated in the comics. Is she? Looking sus. She looks quite strong, and her techniques are hard to draw. Oh, excuse me. Still, it seems to have come out beautifully, so I'm happy with that. At the last bit, we see the Elder that was fighting Yama in Evenkel bringing out the power of the Ancients. This is going to be a true battle of might against might. Although it's going to be mostly fight scenes and therefore chaotic, I still hope you guys enjoy what's coming up next. Mods who worked on this week's blog posts are Nicholas and Sorry. And for this time,
Yeah.
That's like when it has like a prompter and it's like
Yeah,
cough
and
or sneeze, and you read it and you're like, stop reading now, cough. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anybody.
It's okay. Covering your bases. I appreciate
exactly.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, that is all we have for the blog post today until we read more Tower God, obviously. And how could you catch that? Hit us up on AOA Reacts. The link is in the description down below, so you can subscribe there, hit the bell, so you don't miss any future live streams. Also, follow us on Twitch. That link is down there as well. Mm-hmm. We go live right now on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tower of God, but we're catching up pretty quick. It's not going to be long. We got a couple streams left for Tower of God, so you don't want to miss it, but it's all there on YouTube as well if you want to catch some prior ones. That'll be a lot of fun to go back up and see some of the old stuff, going through. But anyway, in terms of comment of the day, we have Al Nahin Abid again, because he's a homie, and just watch us until the end of every video. So hell yeah. Question was, who were the three brothers? Baylord, Doom, Yama, and Paul. And says, hey, I made it into the comment of the video again. Yeah, because you're a homie and you keep on watching. He said, Ian, don't worry about butchering my name, about the three Baylord brothers. And then he named them because I think I may have butchered it last time. And I do apologize if I did. But sincerely, thank you for watching till the end of these videos. Seriously. Also, big shout out to our patrons, Stoic and Nathan, especially our acolytes of anime. We love all of you and your beautiful faces. But yeah, that's all we got for you today. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, comment your thoughts down below. We'll catch you all on the flip. Peace.
Later.
We're gonna do another question.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's the Fug Elder's name?
Oh, yeah, the Fug Elder.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, now we're going to leave. Answer that question, comment your thoughts if you watch till the end of the video, literally. Even after I said goodbye. That's how I really know you watched the whole thing. And comment your thoughts, and we might just read it in our next blog post discussion. But now I'm going to leave. I promise. See you later.
Peace.
Ninjas and samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying. Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start. My hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard. Left them in one piece, no.